Midwest Driz in the building. First of all, I like to thank God. Second of all, I like to thank my whole Black Compass family on both sides, you know what I'm saying? And one other thing I like to say, any artists out there that want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the media being all in your battles, all on your records, dancing, come to Black Compass. Yo, Black Compass Media. We back in the building. It's an honor to have this guy up here. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know if I could get him. It was a shot in the dark. I hit him on Twitter and he responded. Real humble cat, man. He's a legend in this thing, man. A lot of longevity. You know, been putting in work for a lot of years in this business, in this game, man. So we appreciate him coming on. We got the legend Doggie Diamonds in the building. What's going on, Doggie?
Chilling, man. I'm great. It wasn't that hard. You hit me up, I responded. Like I don't do that Hollywood stuff, you know.
Right.
I remember my humble beginnings of everything. So anytime I see somebody, you know, striving and putting in the work to do something and they reach out to me, I respond to everybody.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm really glad. I'm really glad you responded. You know, it's good to have you up here, man. I've been following you and your movement for a long time and everything. So it's
thank you. It seemed like you was about to try to start a campaign to get me. I'm like, nah, it ain't that serious. Like you hit me, I was like, yo, let's go. I do what I said, set it up. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even 24 hours later. We here.
Yep. All right, so I just want to let's just go to the beginning. All right, originally you from Brooklyn. You growing up in Brooklyn, right? How was that? How was it coming up in Brooklyn?
It was rough because crack had hit. And when crack hit, you know, when you in the 80s when crack hit, I was a little, you know, a little kid, you know what I'm saying, not old enough to really be outside. But one of my parents, you know, my mother passed away when I was 2 years old, and my father, I lived with my father, and he suffered from substance abuse. You know what I'm saying? The crack hit him, and just growing up with a crack addicted parent, whoa. You know, so it was a lot. And then by the time, I'm gonna skip a little bit, and then by the time I got to my preteens, of course the crack was still prevalent, but it was just more of me now introducing to selling crack and being a part of the whole street team and the street thing. And that was the whole thing. But Brooklyn was very, very rough in the late 80s, early 90s. Not saying it's not now, because there's still certain places that's rough, but when I was growing up, man, when you went outside every day, you didn't know what was going to happen, because was just the climate. But it was it's messed up how it was normalized for me. I was just used to it, you know. And that's sad. You know, I was just used to, you know, today I might get shot at, you know. I ain't gonna say no other stuff, but I'll just put myself as the victim. Today I might get shot at. Today the cops might chase me. Today I might get arrested. Today, you know, and that's just what it was about.
I saw you say something to the sort of, you know, the thing about when you living fucked up is you don't know you living fucked up until you not living fucked up anymore.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of how it was growing up in Brooklyn for you. You didn't even notice it at the time.
No, it was normal. It was normal to go outside and, yo, let's find people to fight. Let's be aggressive. Let's show our aggression. Let's take our aggression out. Who's the enemies? You know, let's find enemies. Let's make enemies. Let's rob people. I never been no stealing person. Like I never been the type of person that sneak thief people or pickpocket, in the sense of, you know, go and steal people pocketbooks and stuff like that. But I would, you know, being a young dude, our claim to fame was to try to rob older dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like let's see if we could rob an older guy. Let's see if, you know, I'm 13. Let's see if I could knock a 19-year-old dude out, a 25-year-old dude. That's what we liked. And it's sad that was our recreation. You know, that's what we was doing to relieve aggression, but then also trying to make your stamp in the street as, yo, we not no joke over here too. You know, right. And it was just normal. It was almost like, yo, I'm bored. Let's go fuck somebody up.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
Like, yo, I'm bored. Let's go catch some wreck. Literally. Yo, like, yo, man, it's mad boring. Let's go fuck somebody up. Or let's go over here and see if who out there and let's chase them. And, you know, just it was dumb. You know what I'm saying? Looking back, you know, hindsight's 2020, being a grown ass man now. But back then, that was just normal. You know what
And
I'm saying? And it wasn't me. It was everybody in Brooklyn. So I'm not
right.
trying to act like I'm somebody special. I definitely wasn't one of the worst. It was it was more far worse areas. And this was just an all day occurrence for a lot of people, but this was just normal. I think it was New York City on the whole, but especially
Yeah.
Brooklyn because we're the home of the crooks and the robbers and all of that, you
And
know.
you grew up on the same, like in the same neighborhood as Biggie and all that, right?
Yeah, he's a little older than me, but I could say he kind of grew up in the same neighborhood as me because I was outside before him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
I was definitely out in the street before he was. And yeah, we from the same hood. You know what I'm saying? 2 blocks away. You know what I'm saying? You go 2 blocks down Fulton Street. That's his block. 2 block. Little C's, the Little Kim, Foxy Brown. Um, a lot of people is from my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely
Mhm.
was one of the dudes that was outside with the shits. You
Now,
know what I'm saying? Early.
how is that neighborhood now with the whole gentrification thing going on? Are they changing it a lot, or how's it now?
Oh, it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's
It's
over. The
over.
things that the things that I knew about the neighborhood is over. Of course, good thing they still have some Biggie murals up, so you can see that that's his neighborhood and where he's
Hmm.
from. And my block is still there. I got a lot of the young dudes from my neighborhood representing my block. Jay Critch represent my block, and all my little cousins and little homies they rap, so they represent my block. So that's what keep the block going. But yeah, it's over. It's gentrified. It's whitewashed, and you know, once you see people like jogging down the street with poodles, and you see
Yeah.
once you see a Starbucks going in any neighborhood, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because
That's a
it's a
fact.
wrap. Because after the Starbucks comes the Chipotle, and then all these little coffee shops and stuff. And you know it's sad, right? The sad thing is that that's not a bad thing. That crime is down in the neighborhood. The only thing that's sad and bad about it is that it take a different race of people to move in for them to want to clean up the crime and actually clean the neighborhood. And when I say clean, I don't mean clean it from the people. I mean actually make sure the garbage is out and there's not all this dirt and filth around. And they start putting flower pots and putting dividers in the middle of the street and all that. You know, when I was growing up, there was still bottle caps in the tar in the streets. You know, it was still trolley um tracks in the streets on my block. You know what I'm saying? And this
Mhm.
is in the 80s. Now all of that you wouldn't even believe that any of that exists. But you know, gentrification happened. It is what it is. You know, what can you do?
Right, right. Now, I want to ask, how did you get into the content game? Because you originally you was you was a producer and a DJ, right?
Yes. Yep. That's what I started out as. Now, see, with that, I always had a video camera, but back then I had the video camera that had the big VHS tape in it. So I've always
Hmm.
filmed everything. And what I started, reason why I bought a camera, then I went to the what is it called, DVC, I believe, and then it was High 8, Mini DV. I've had all types of different cameras, but the reason why I really got into the camera thing was when we used to rehearse. I used to hear Mike Tyson talking about how he used to watch fight tapes
Uh
and
huh.
study people fights and study, you know, techniques and fights. And then we know athletes watch tape of their games and, you know, where they might have went wrong and study patterns. So I said, I want to get a video camera and tape all of our rehearsals, my
Hmm.
group, and then all of the music studio sessions, you know, not even thinking about documentary. I just wanted to watch the tape and watch the rehearsal so we could have a tight show. And then we watch the tape later on and say, look, you missed your cue point there. You didn't do the ad lib right there. Look, when you say this line, you run out of breath. You know, so that's what I got it for. So I always had tapes. I always had a camera. So that's what started content. The first content I was getting was
Hmm.
my content. So
Okay.
that's what started the content. Yeah.
Okay. So then, how did you go from that to interviewing people, getting the going to the Come Up DVD, starting the
Uh-huh.
Forbes DVD? How did all of that get started? How did that kick off?
Well, I knew a lot of rappers personally, you know, from being in the music industry, and then also a lot of them coming to my crib, you know, because I had a studio in Brooklyn. So I signed up for this message board website called Trickology before, and
Okay.
I was on there for a while, and you know I was telling people what I did and all that. You know, of course, on message boards they be like, "Yo, you lying? You say you know this person, you lying? You know, this is
Right.
internet. Let's say 90, let's say like 97."
Hmm.
Could we go that far back? Yeah, we could say like 97, 98, somewhere in that area. So I'm on the message boards, you know, and this is back when message boards was the thing, chat rooms was the thing. That's how long I've been on the internet. So, I'm saying, I know this and the third. So I end up talking to the owner of the website, and he was asking me, can I do an interview? Who do I know any artists I could do an interview? I was like, sure, I can get Little C's, I could get different people, which I eventually did. So I started doing interviews over the phone with people, and then I would have to type it out. So I'm like, nah, this ain't cool, man. Like, I have a lost Ghostface interview. I got a lost, I got a few interviews. So from there, my partner in Forbes, I was doing music, and I had took a break from music. I just had like a whole breakdown. I just didn't want to do no music. So one day, MREC hit me and was like, yo, I want to buy the music that you did for me. I want to give you a deposit towards the music that you did for me. So he came through, gave me a deposit. And he was like, yo, I'm also doing a project called Outside of Hot 97, where he documented going outside of Hot 97 every day, and what it takes for artists to be on the grind and get radio spins. Yeah. So he documented, so he had all this footage and he was showing me. And he was like, yo, I just need it edited. So when he said he needed an editor, I knew some editors. So I took him to some editors. We got the DVD edited. They took a long ass time doing it. Now we realize it take like 3 days to edit the whole DVD, but they took months. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they took months to do it. And within doing that, it reconnected me and Rec, because we was doing that project together, which I eventually scored the DVD, and I also put some of my my artists on the DVD also, help film and that. So, I helped him put that project together, which he had maybe about 95% done. Like I said, I only scored it, took it to some editors and put some people on it, and that was it. So from there, he was Rec was a big mixtape DVD distributor in New York. He had something called Gutter Music Distribution, where he was distributing a lot of mixtapes. At this time, the late 90s, early 2000s, mixtapes were big on the street.
Mixtapes popping on the street.
Yeah. Plus, he's doing a DVD now. So from that DVD, Jordan Tower was doing the Come Up DVD, filming it, and he came to Rec, and he did a DVD called Burn, and he came to Rec and asked Rec, could you distribute my DVD? So Rec was distributing the Burn DVD, so that what made him have a relationship with Jordan Tower. So from Rec doing all the interviews on his DVD, Jordan said, yo, come over here and do the interviews for the Come Up DVD. Help me with the Come Up DVD. I don't do interviews, I just do all the filming. You can do the interviews. And Rec was like, nah, I don't really want to do interviews like that. I'm an artist. This is before it was really cool for artists to do interviews. This is 2004. So I could be getting the dates maybe 2 years off. I might be early by 2 years, but at least was 2004, 2005. So from there, Rec was like, nah, let him do the interviews talking about me. He was like, yo, he's a hip hop historian, and plus he's more, that's something that he wants to do. I ain't really trying to be no interview guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let him do that. So we did a few interviews together. We did I'm trying to think, was the first interview I think we did for the Come Up. It might have been who was the first interview we did for the Come Up? It might have been Hot Rod or somebody like that. Hot Rod or 40 Cal. Might have been one of the two. So around that time, me, Jordan, and Rec, Jordan Tower, me and Rec is together like every day, putting in work, going all around getting footage. And Jordan Tower, and we was like, yo, we should do a project together. So MREC and Jordan Tower came up with the name Forbes DVD, because around this time 50 Cent made the I Get Money song.
This is around the time the I Get Money.
I Get Money came out. So he had the Forbes version. So, it's like, yo, that's that Forbes sound like money. So that was the slogan. Forbes DVD sound like money. So that's when that started. Forbes DVD.
I always wonder where that came from.
Yeah, it came from the 50 Cent. Yeah, it came from 50 Cent, the I Get Money record with Jay-Z. With 50 Cent featuring Jay-Z and Puffy. So that was the beginning of that. So that's when Forbes DVD started. We were supposed to drop a DVD in the street. It was supposed to be a website later, but it was supposed to be a DVD. And me and Rec was promoting a lot of Jordan videos all over YouTube. And I remember distinctly Jordan Tower saying to me and Rec, yo, you can't make money off the internet. And we looked at him and laughed. He's like, the internet is nothing. You can't make money off the internet. I'm talking about this is 2005. And we looked at him and laughed like, yo, the internet is going to be the next wave. Right. That's going to be it. because we're on the internet. Like I said, I had the message boards present, so I know what the message boards was about. You know, the support online hip hop at the time. I wasn't up on Boxton then. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't up on Boxton, but I used to see it because they used to always have the new albums. No, you know, for not for free download. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
Right.
to throw nobody under the bus, but yeah, Boxton. Yeah, Boxton existed. You had of course, the site that I was dealing with, Trickology. Then it turned into the board. I was just very, very big on message boards back then. That's where you got all your new albums. That's where you got your porn from. That's where you knew all the gossip and all that. Hip hop game. It was a lot of message boards at the time. So around that time, we started the Forbes DVD. I think the first footage that said Forbes DVD was the Saigon and Mobb Deep fight at SOBs. That was the first footage that said Forbes DVD coming soon. Mm-hmm. And then I interviewed Jay Hood. Then I interviewed Little C's in front of the courthouse. Then me and Rex just started going on an interview tier. And then Jordan Tower left the picture, you know what I'm saying, which we could get into if you want to, or we don't have to.
Yeah, definitely want to get into that.
Okay, you want to ask me a question, or you want me to tell you?
What happened with the Jordan Tower situation? Why did he leave?
Well, during the Come Up DVD, we did a Styles P edition where I interviewed Styles P. It was in black and white. If you ever look up the Come Up DVD Styles P edition, I interviewed Styles P. Mm-hmm. And one day, people used to always say, Google me, Google my name. So one day I Googled my name, and my name came up with the Come Up DVD, and it was on a site called World Star Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't know nothing about this site. All I knew that back then it was like, hold on, they copying, they ripping people DVDs. That's bootlegging, bootlegging. Yeah, it's like, hold up, they took the footage off the DVD and put it on their website. No, they're bootlegging.
Yeah.
So I hit Jordan up. Tell Fendi, his website is bootlegging his DVD. Because this is before you put footage out there. You might put it on YouTube, but YouTube didn't have his big, his big thing. Yeah, monetization.
So you made most of your bread off selling your DVD.
Actual facts. Yeah, actual fact. So I hit Jordan, tell Fendi, they bootlegging, this site called World Star. So I remember emailing the World Star, which was worldstarhiphop23@gmail.com. I remember emailing them like, yo, y'all can't be taking dudes footage. They was like, yo, we love you, love what you do, we love your interviews, we don't consider it bootlegging, we helping promote and all. I'm like, nah, y'all gotta take that footage down. So somehow, some way, I believe Jordan got in contact with them, worked out a situation with them where he would give them exclusive footage. That's why in the beginning people thought Jordan Tower owned World Star, and he was
out there. That definitely was out there.
Yeah. And he was telling people that too. And he was affiliated with World Star. And he kind of moved away from me and Rec, because and even before that, let me not jump too far. Before that, I was doing interviews for World Star. I did like on Smash.com first interviews. Mm-hmm. I did World Star first interviews, because remember, they didn't have exclusive footage. It was all ripped and stolen footage from DVDs, what I'm saying, or a little fight stuff. So I was doing exclusive interviews with Jordan Tower that would say for worldstarhiphop.com. But at the same time, we supposed to be putting out a Forbes DVD, actual DVD. So he used a lot of Forbes DVD footage that we supposed to put on DVD and gave it to World Star.
Oh.
So we didn't have no content. So now what is me and Rec going to do? We're not a part of World Star. He never brought us in. And even when I spoke to Q, which I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but Q was like, yo, he told Jordan to bring us in and, officially put us down, which never happened, what I'm saying, which is cool. So me and Rec was just sitting there like, yo, what we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Rec was like, yo, Forbes has something to do with Jordan, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do Forbes DVD. Let's do COD DVD, which stands for Cash on Demand. And I was like, nah, we should do Forbes. So he was like, yo, look, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get some footage. You know what I'm saying? We could work on the COD DVD. And he went out there. He got some footage. That's where, if you ever see Orsino early on going in on Beanie Siegel, and Meek Mill is right next to him the whole time with braids.
Yeah.
And Meek Mill rapping. That was COD DVD. And they since stole that, put that on there. That's when Fredro was like, Brandy gave him head. That was COD DVD. That was all from our DVD. Yeah, that was all from our DVD.
So that whole Brandy, him saying Brandy gave him head, that was on y'all shit.
Actual facts. Yeah, that was our shit. So the day we launched Forbes DVD, we crashed the servers with that footage, and then WorldStar stole that footage. They stole that. They stole that. We had that on the day we started Forbes DVD. We started it with that footage, and we started it with my Prodigy interview with Prodigy saying, people were saying he's better than Nas. You know what I'm saying? WorldStar stole both of that and got all the recognition. But if you even look in the footage, it says Forbes DVD coming soon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that started kind of the Forbes DVD WorldStar Wars, which it was too many people advocating for WorldStar at the time. It's not that they was big, that they had exclusive footage or anything like that. It was just that, I just felt like me and Rec was just when people look at you and they see themselves and they just think that you're not flashy, you don't have the cars, you don't have the girls, people don't aspire to be like you on the materialism level. They just think, oh, fuck him, he's nobody. You know what I'm saying? I've never been the dude who pull out my jewelry and my money and flat. I never did any. I never felt like I had to do that to be accepted. I always thought my talent and my ability is why people should rock with me. But needless to say, sum it all up, a lot of people advocated for WorldStar. Then WorldStar used to tell people, yo, if you mess with Forbes, we not fucking with you. We never putting your footage up. Jordan Tower distanced itself from us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I used to write interview questions for him, for T-Pain, Lil Wayne, various artists. And
wasn't there a situation where he didn't give you your credit for like a...
Yeah, he didn't give me my credit. Yeah, he didn't give me my credit on a lot of interviews. And that's what... And I was like, yo, why? And he was like, oh, I'll do it next time and all that. But then, he told somebody that, yo, WorldStar don't like him. They don't want his name or nothing. So I'm like, so that's when I was like, yo, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all using my content. And this is a time where, when somebody texts you and say, yo, I need interview questions, this is pre-email like that. You know what I'm saying? Email wasn't on the phone. I had a Trio at the time. And when you have Verizon, you had to pay extra for data. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit was, and Verizon was raping you records at the time. So I would have to really, really go all the way in, call my man, tell him the interview questions, then email them to Jordan. Like I had to do so much to get him these questions. So it was, and anybody who know me know I don't write questions down. So for me to even have to write questions down was weird because I don't write questions down. So I'm doing it for somebody else, So yeah, that was that. So we had a little discrepancy. We wasn't talking for a while, and then we just went full steam ahead with Forbes DVD because after we did the COD DVD, me and Rec was like, yo, it's still a digital world. We know that. And we branded the Forbes thing already. Let's just go with it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we launched it with the Fredro. We didn't know nothing about the servers and all that. So the servers crashed in like an hour because that brandy and all that shit went crazy.
Yeah, the world was going crazy over there.
Yeah, that's actually Rec footage. You know what I'm saying? Rec filmed that and edited that. You know what I'm saying? So he deserves all the credit for that. And yeah, we just started Forbes DVD and we was off to the races from there. But we had like a big uphill battle because it's two dudes from Brooklyn. And again, when you from a city and you from a town, your town rarely embraces you. I don't care where you from. You can be from Philly, the Philly dudes rarely, if you from Philly, people in your town ain't gonna like you. If you from Delaware, people in your town ain't gonna like, because everybody feel like they gotta compete with you. There's no real camaraderie in your town, especially if you're not fronting. And like I said, I always been humble in my approach, but cocky and arrogant about my ability is the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it that you almost got to get love from everywhere else before you could get that love from home?
Again, like I told you, some of us have past histories together. My homeboys might have robbed you before, your homeboys, or, it's just always little petty differences that we can't see the bigger picture on. The bigger picture is success. Now, if I got 85% and you got 15, take your 15 and put it on my 85. We both got 100. Instead, what they do, they'll see me with 85 and then go start somewhere else with 15 and quit.
Right.
Now you quit at 15 and I'm still at 85. So now you have 0 and 5. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you could have been to 100. And then when you look at that in the aspect of shares, 15% of 100% company is not bad. You know what I'm saying? Because instead of getting to 15% and then having nothing, You know what I'm saying? So because if I got 85, I could pull a lot of the weight. You just add it on to get me over the top. But I'm definitely going to give you your percentage. But we don't have that mind state as black men. Everything is competition. Everything is ego. Everything is bravado. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. So when you from a town, people quick to say, "Oh, that's just such and such." Yeah, he be over there. Like you got to pull up
To try to make you seem small, right?
yeah, you got to pull up in a Rari or show this new one-on-one watch. I'm not into none of that. Listen, I'm not a materialistic individual. Never was. I always know that that's every man and woman downfall. All my money go into electronics and my product. I do not care about a new car. I do not care about a 17-room mansion unless I'm planning on moving my whole family in there. I don't care about 80 pairs of sneakers because I only got 2 feet. I'm just different. At one point I had my jewelry phase. That's how my name came about. And, I still got all that jewelry and I don't even wear none of it. You know what I'm saying? I still got all my jewelry. So I just think different. So when you carry yourself a certain way, when you walk up, dudes want to look at what you got on, how you driving, what you driving. And people judge success based off of materialism. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a certain car, they look at you like, this bum ass nigga, he got off the train. You know what I'm saying? When it's millionaires on the train every day.
Right.
Millionaires, billionaires on the train every day. Is people on the, working class people. And that's what I was trying to bring to the game that, you can be regular. It's okay to have a 9 to 5. It's okay to have a job while you pursuing your endeavors. You can have a job and still rap. You can have a job and still be a studio manager. You can have a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to pay your bills. So I was trying to make that regular. But then again, we live in a world where success is determined by materialism, perception. So that's why I think it is. And then, like I said, Brooklyn is very, very competitive. A lot of the Brooklyn rappers wasn't getting along at the time. So it's like who you affiliated with, you picking sides. And me being media, I didn't want to be on nobody's side. I just wanted to interview everybody.
Right.
So, that was that.
Now, how did your interview with Max B, for a lot of people don't know, how did that interview change kind of the way people were doing street interviews? Because when you went up there, and I saw somewhere you said you had to cut some of it out. Matter of fact, give us the story of you getting in the car and going up there to see Max B for this interview.
Fendi called me to interview Max B. Jordan didn't want to do it because he was scared of Jim Jones. Okay. He didn't want nothing to do with that Jim Jones thing. We already did one Max B interview. That's the second Max B interview. People don't know that. We already did one Max B interview.
Okay.
And I think Jim Jones scared Jordan up or said something to him that he just didn't want no problems with that. Or him and Fendi was going through it. It was just so many, factors. Fendi called me. He's like, "Yo, you want to interview Max B?" I was like, why Jordan? Jordan's the cameraman. Anyway, he wasn't gonna do the interview. I would be doing it. So I was like, "Yo, why can't he do it?" He was like, "Yo, this nigga scared of Jim Jones or whatever. He don't do it." I said, "Shit. I'm going to do it. I ain't scared of nobody. I'm going to do an interview." You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that. So we had at this time, my artist at the time name was You Notice. And I had this other kid. I had dudes living in my crib. That's how real it was. Like I wanted people living around me. So when we gotta go work, we go work. Right. So I had You Notice there and I had Kane. I think I had a Canon XL1 at the time, which was Jordan Tahoe's old camera. This took mini DV tapes. So we jumped in a purple hoopty. I'm talking about this shit had a dent on the side. Mm-hmm. Cars twisted, but this how we getting around. So Fendi, I don't have Mac's number. I don't have none of that. Fendi just said, "Yo, just go to 133rd and Lenox. He gonna be outside." So I'm like, fuck it. So we go up there. We drive to Harlem from Brooklyn, from the Star. We drive to Harlem. So I'm out there. I'm like, "Yo, I don't know this nigga building. I don't know nothing. I don't even know where is he? I don't even know how to get in contact with him." You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to call Fendi, and lo and behold, I see somebody come down the block. They hair blowing in the wind. looking like Preach from what's the name of the damn movie? Superfly walking down the block. I'm like, "Yo, I know this ain't Max B." So he come down the block. I'm talking about his hair's blowing. It was him. So I'm like, "Yo, it was good." So that we did the interview and the rest was history. But it changed the way a lot of interviews was done because it was raw, it was uncut, and it was so direct. And my line of questioning was questions. It wasn't just agitating. It was questions that people really wanted to know. And that's the difference between me and a lot of people. I ask questions that people really want to know, but I know how to ask it where the person that I'm asking is not agitated, irritated, or I don't feel like I'm probing and just, some people say, yo, your interview, some people used to say to me, my interviews was too long. You know what I'm saying? But now it's cool to do in-depth interviews. At one point, people used to say, yo, your interviews, Fendi used to tell me, yo, the interview is too long. I'm like, nah, man, you got to do in-depth interviews. Now that's a style, thanks to me. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice the Max B interview, was kind of in-depth because I wanted to know a little bit of history about him, because when we did the first interview, he was saying people blackballing me, but he wouldn't say who.
He wouldn't say names.
He wouldn't say names. So by the time the second interview came, he was ready to go. Dame Grease was there. Shout out to Dame Grease. And he just went. And throughout him venting, giving his stance on a lot of things, I still was asking him questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get answers from him. Yo, and that just went on to just be, in some people's mind, the greatest interview of all time. You know what I'm saying? To this day. You know what I'm saying?
That interview definitely changed the way people started doing interviews. That's just a fact right there.
Yeah, nobody's gonna, you know what I'm saying? But the people admit it, but the people who do interviews, it's funny because the people who do interviews, even though they reference me without referencing me, they redo a lot of my interviews, and they, many of them wasn't even, like, I'm telling you something, man. When I was doing interviews, man, people used to look at me like a clown. I'm dead ass serious. Like, yo, what you doing this interview shit for? What are you doing? Like, this media shit. Go back to making beats. Yo, you don't want to be a DJ no more? Why are you doing this interview shit? Now it's the end thing for everybody to be a part of media. So I laugh and I just keep it moving. But I'm telling you, people used to be like, yo, what you doing? Like, yo, you interviewing me? Yo, when I interviewed Easy Mo B, I just interviewed Frank Lucas for the Come Up DVD when American Gangster was out. His PR firm was called Double Exposure in Harlem. They had another client by the name of Easy Mo B. Easy Mo B is like one of my OGs, lived in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Used to come to my crib and listen to my beats. Now imagine Easy Mo B coming to your crib, listening to your beats all the time. You know what I'm saying? Vibing. But that's a whole nother story. So they said, we have another client by Easy Mo B. Would you want to interview him? I said, hell yeah. I said, but don't tell him who's interviewing him. Just tell him to come through. He has an interview. So Mo B come up and he said, yo, dog, what you doing here? I said, I'm here to interview you. He said, interview me? Yo, you know everything about me. I said, that's why this shit gonna be a classic. You know what I'm saying? So I interview Easy Mo B. So, everybody used to look at me in the beginning like, yo, what are you doing interviews for? Like, yo, what is this shit? Because it was journalists always looked at somebody who went to school for journalism. They were writers for papers and newsletters and all of that. Nah, I was like, yo, grab the camera, let me ask questions. My interviewing thing style came from two places. I used to interview myself in the mirror. Okay. I used to say to myself, what is it that you want people to know about you? And how are you going to answer if they ask you this way and that way? And I used to interview myself in the mirror. And that's where it came from. That's why my interviews is more like a conversation opposed to just somebody feeling like, damn, I'm under attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never come in. So, yo, how many niggas you shot? Or, yo, so why you and such and such beefing? That's not my first question. That's never my first question. I might not even get to it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I like when I leave an interview with somebody, something about this artist that you never knew. And I don't even have to say to them, tell me something about you that you never knew, that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just all natural. Like how me and you could be kicking it on the phone. That's how I want my interviews to come. I want my interviews to always be like I was having a conversation. Like I was having a conversation with somebody and it got recorded. That's how I want my interviews to be. So the Max B joint, I think that's like that. The Ali Vegas. I had an unreleased Sheek Loose interview that and I have a lot of unreleased interviews that I love that's coming soon. But the Ali Vegas was definitely, the second biggest one to date. But I love all my Tragedy Gaddafi interviews. My Core Mega interviews is so slept on. You know what I'm saying? My Prodigy interview. I started, the other day, I started like recollecting, like, damn, I interviewed him too. And I interviewed him. I was like, damn, I interviewed a lot of people, but they were so scattered on DVDs and so scattered on YouTube that people don't know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the interviews, when you be seeing dudes interviewing people, That's a remake of my shit. People don't know that though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So this year I'm working on compiling everything and putting it in one place. You know, just making sure everybody know, no, look, I did this. If it was on Forbes DVD, it's not going to be on 2 Forbes channels. It's going to be on one. If it was
Right.
Doggie Diamonds TV, everything is going to be here. So that's what I'm working on this year, really compiling all my work because people don't know all that I did. You know what I'm
Because the
saying?
work
Which
is
is
all over the place.
it's scattered, man. And we talking about 12 years of just raw
Fire
11
material.
11 interviews a day sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I remember me like, yo, man, I don't want to go. We gonna go. Yo, what you gonna do in the crib? He'd be like, yo, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. Yo, I'd be like, yo, let's call people. So we start calling people. Yo, you got Maserati Fox number? Yo, call Fox. Rest in peace to Fox. We call Fox. Yo, Fox, we want to come through do some interview. Come through. Yo, damn, who else could we call? I remember me and Rec went in all 5 boroughs in one day, from Staten Island to Bronx to Yonkers to Long Island to Queens to Brooklyn, all in one day, looking for interviews. That's how dedicated we was to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. So that's why a lot of times when I get compared to people, I say, man, they ain't have to put in the work. Dudes are sitting in offices. They sitting in places where it's certain things you can't ask people in their face because they want to knock your head off. So it's easy to ask somebody certain things in certain settings. You know what I'm saying? Where it's safe and comfortable. You done gave them refreshments. You bought them water.
Yeah.
Nah, I wanted that gritty street shit. A nigga might be, just smoke some weed or had some liquor or, it's cold or we looking around because it can never go down. I remember I interviewed Joe Budden on 42nd Street, right? For the Come Up DVD. And his beef with Ransom was I didn't know if it was street yet, but I know they had verbal sparring and then he threw some shots at Jay-Z. And I remember a car pulled up. We didn't know who was in the car. So we all looking at this car like, yo, who is this? But that was early Joe Budden interviews for the Come Up DVD. You know what I'm saying? That I did. So yeah, that's out there too. Joe Budden interview for the Come Up DVD. Gucci Man on the Come Up DVD. What's the other dude name?
Didn't you have the interview with J Hood saying he's leaving D Block?
Actual facts. Yeah, I was in crib at the time. His mother was sick. Rest in peace to his mother. She eventually passed away. I believe his mother had cancer in her liver. Okay. And it's an unreleased interview of his talking about how Sheik and D Block did J Hood wrong. Jordan Tower has that. You know what I'm saying? It's an unreleased interview of it's an unreleased interview of J Hood's mother that I did. And she was telling me how they did her son wrong. Yeah, Jordan Tower has it. Jordan Tower has, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's hard to get to them sometimes because them shits is on tapes all over. And then when you move, because I'm going through that myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have an unreleased interview with J Hood mother. Rest in peace.
Wow. And you had the Saigon Mob Deep thing that happened.
Yeah, Saigon Mob Deep thing. Yeah, SOBs. I have it's an interview that I put on YouTube with Nicki Minaj that I did, but that's actually Nicki Minaj and Foxy Brown standing side by side on camera. But we had to blur Foxy Brown face out. You still hear her voice, but she caught an attitude with Fendi over something, and she didn't want to be on camera with Nicki. You know what I'm saying? This what I'm saying. Since her and Nicki is cool now, I guess, or whatever. But at this time, I think her and Fendi was beefing, so she didn't want Fendi to use her image for the DVD. But she's still on the DVD. You just don't see her face. And then one day, I'm in my crib in Brooklyn. Somebody's yelling at my window. It's Foxy. Like, yo, you still got that footage? I'm like, nah, I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? This was this was 2011. You know what I'm saying? Foxy calling me for that footage. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Man, that's a lot of classic footage, man. You put a lot of work in, man. You put a lot of work in this game, man.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, before it was any money doing it, I did it because I really loved it. I really wanted these rappers that have to tell their story because I know what it's like to be the underdog. I know what it's like to be overlooked. I know what it's like to not be in certain publications because your status is not where, you're not in the Source. Shout out to the Source. You're not in XXL. Shout out to them. I wanted to be the alternative to that, but then be that also. But I wanted to be so street like the street dudes, and that's what I wanted to be. And I also wanted to pay homage. So they used to diss me for interviewing dudes like Smooth the Hustler and all. They used to be like, "Oh, you interviewing these washed up rappers and all that shit." I'm like, yo, there's no such thing as a washed up rapper if they got a record that's still getting played. Not to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing. So I was like, yo, I interview anybody who I was a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I liked your music, shit, I want to interview you. I want to top it up with you. I want to talk about, because I like music. I like the process of music. See, that's what's missing today. Nobody talks about the process of music, the creation of it.
It's just about the product at the end now.
Yeah, the product is all that matters, but I want to know the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know where your mind was at. I want to know what inspired you. I want to know from the producer standpoint. I want to know, why did you use that hi-hat? Why did you use that snare? Why is it on 1/16 triplet? You know what I'm saying? Why is the hi-hat double time? Why did you slow down that part? Why did you chop that part? You know, I might be talking a language that a lot of the new dudes don't understand, but for the real, they know what I'm talking about. You know, I want to know those things because that helps creativity on the whole. So when you find these stories, I remember talking to Kanye West one day, and Kanye West told me why he did it was Guess Who's Backbeat. He told me he was inspired by a Gangstar song. I forgot what Gangstar song it was, and he made that. No, the Truth beat. He made the Truth beat behind listening to a Gangstar record. And this is just me and Kanye West talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just me and him. You know what I'm saying? And this was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? It was just me and him. It was actually at a Common show, but Gangstar was performing there. And I went and I just topped it up with Kanye West. He was virtually like just starting. He was just at Rockefeller at the time, and we was just building on beats. You know what I'm saying? And then when a lot of artists and producers realize my knowledge when it comes to beats, it always makes for a better interview, because they're like, "Oh shit, yo, it's like almost like a discovery. Like, we just talking music talk, music language that it seemed like only we understand. You know, which is fun."
And you was also you was Nipsey's first New York City interview. You was his very first
Actual
one.
facts. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle, your boy. Nipsey Hussle, when he came to New York, it was Street Knowledge, which I believe was Blue Pill, and a guy by the name of Majesty. They was working for Cinematic Music Group, which was Cinematic Music Group, and Nipsey Hussle was signed to them.
Okay.
So they knew I was Forbes thing, and I think Blue Pill might have reached out to me and said, "Do you want to interview Nipsey Hussle? He's coming to New York." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So he played Hustle for the house with me in the first time. All that's on tape.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, this shit is dope." And I asked him, "Yo, don't you feel like people gonna compare you to Snoop?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him that, because when I saw him, his demeanor, everything, I was like, damn, man, he look like Snoop Dogg. He sound like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Like, he tall, lanky like him and everything. That was his first interview, you know what I'm saying, in New York City, was Nipsey Hussle. Shit, one of Dave East's first interviews. Fetty Wap, first ever interview I did. You know what I'm saying?
Did you laugh at Fetty Wap when he first played it?
Oh, I laughed at Fetty. I didn't laugh in his face, but I was like, this kid is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this kid is in trouble. He played Track Queen for me. And I was like, yo, this kid is in trouble. He's never going to make it. That shit was horrible. And 2 to 3 weeks later, he was on Billboard. And that's when I said, whoa, shit changed, bro. You better pay attention to what this youth are listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And you better pay attention to what these record labels are putting their money into and the climate. And ever since then, I never listened to music the same. You know what I'm saying? I never listened.
And with that change, how do you continue to evolve with the time? Because a lot of people when they've been doing something a certain way, they're not able to evolve with the time. You know what I'm saying? You came through the going block to block, getting street footage, the DVDs, to having to deal with the World Star situation, to now it's a podcast era and all that. Like, how do you continue to evolve with the time?
By staying true to myself, being who I am. Not wanting to be like other people, and not listening to people telling me what I'm doing is not right, in the sense of I'm doing something wrong, because all people try to do is deter you from doing something so they could copy you. If you're going to stick to your guns and you're willing to live and die with your decisions, whether it's good and bad, that's all to you. You have to live and die with it. When I wake up, look in the mirror and brush my teeth, I don't see nobody else's face. I see mine. I have to live and die with whatever decisions I make.
Right.
So I'm willing to live and die with whatever the consequence is for my action, whatever the reward is for my action. I'm ready for all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for all of that. So it's just an evolution, just as a man too. I don't see things the way I seen things when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? I don't see things. Music has changed. The way people interact with each other has changed. social media, made people accessible where you can tell your favorite artist, yo, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be disrespectful. Like, people could just really disrespect you because they can, and you're gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to just take all that into account. Like, damn, shit different. And I'm not gonna be the old lady trying to figure out how to record stuff on the VCR or the DVR. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, I'm with the times, and I've always been up on technology. See, that's the one thing that I have a one up on everybody. I always grasp coding and technology. So that's what always let me know what the next moves is in the next wave. I knew the internet was the next wave. I knew podcasting was the next wave, but I was podcasting before it was called podcasting because I was doing DTF radio, and then I was doing something called that'shiphop.com radio. This was 10 years ago. I was at DTF radio for like 6 years. So then this whole podcast thing started coming about. I'm like, what is this podcast shit? They was like, yo, it's just audio stripped down of your show. I said, well, I've been doing that. People was like, do a podcast. And I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do it because it seemed like everybody's going to do it. But then I had all of this audio. So I said, you know what, man? Let me just put it out for the people. You know what I'm saying? And then, again, people looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, what is this podcast shit? Then it became the wave where everybody would do a podcast. So I was like, yo, you know what? Nah, I got to stake my claim. You know what I'm saying? I got to really, really put myself in a position where people got to know that I'm the founder and the author of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to people who put in the work with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm solely the one, but a lot of people that you see today are corporate funded, corporate backing, and they have a lot of money pumped into them. So of course it's almost like independent versus the major. I would be an indie, somebody else would be a major. But I didn't have lawsuit money. I didn't have, corporate sponsor. I definitely didn't do nothing gay. I definitely didn't do nothing Illuminati to be in certain situations. And I'm not saying other people did, but some people did do something strange for a piece of change. I just never did that. I've always been true, open, honest, and always been a man. You know what I'm saying? And a gentleman at the same time, and been fair with everybody. So what I'm working on now, everything is good. Like I said, sometimes it's a slow process, but as long as it's processing, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Some cars are faster than others, but it don't matter if you get there in an hour or you get there in 2-3 days, as long as you get there. And that's just how I look at everything. I never let anybody put a time frame or anything on me that I didn't put on myself. I know what timing, like everything with me, anybody who could tell you who know me, I am a timing individual. They be like, yo, you got this interview, put it out. Nah, it's not time yet. They be like, when is the time? I know when it's time. You know what I'm saying? Timing is everything. Timing, you can lose your life if you're 2 seconds early or 2 seconds late.
That's a fact.
But if you're on time, you might not lose your life. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, damn, if I had got on that bus that I just missed, I would have been in that bus crash. And then the bus that you got on earlier, you might not have been. That's just how life is. And life is a gamble. We roll the dice, and some people are willing to push other issues and sacrifice certain things, and I'm not willing to sacrifice. And I don't want to put out there, and I don't want to be on no spooky stuff like everybody did something weird, because some people just really worked hard and deserve it and got it. And salute to those. But it is some people who use cheat codes. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not willing to do. And sometimes the cheat code is disassociating yourself with people who you came up with, who showed you love. I told you about the Jordan Tower thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the cheat code is acting high and mighty, like you upper class, and talking about how you rich now and people are broke and all, this whole different vernacular that you have because you're in a so-called different room with different people. I'm not willing to do all of those things. I'm willing to just be who I am at all times. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to evolve and upgrade in certain situations, but that don't mean that I start treating people different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to treat anybody different, especially people who showed me love and support all these years. I'm never going to act funny with them.
So, Doggie, okay, around this time when you was running around and you was putting all your work in, where was Smack DVD and all of this?
Oh, they was there.
They was outside.
Smack was there, yeah. Okay. Beasley was doing all the interviews, you know what I'm saying? That was Beasley doing the interviews. People don't know that. Nah, Smack was there. Cocaine City was out there. Sub-Zero DVD was out there. All This Michael Real Talk DVD was out there. You had Kavlaw out there, Step Your Game Up. You had different DVDs out there, but the Come Up DVD, I think what made the Come Up special was Jordan was just good with that camera work, man. Jordan had the DVD looking beautiful. He had the nice intros. I added the interviews, and then they were shooting original videos for artists, for songs that you wanted to hear. It was just a nice mess.
Right.
But the DVDs was out there. Smack was out there. You know what I'm saying? Smack was out there.
What do you think about Smack's evolution now? Do you think he gets the credit he deserves?
Hell no.
No?
Nope. I mean, I like, man, Smack helped create a genre of a certain style. He's not the founder of battle rap. There was battle rap leagues, groups pre-Smack. So we're not going to act like he founded battle rap. He founded a certain genre of street battle rap and intimate settings. Like, it's just a certain style that he created. And I don't think he really gets the credit because, he put in a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
I met Smack at the Maserati Fox, rest in peace, video shoot for Let Me 212 with you. That's the first time I met Trav. It was a lot of dudes. He was in Queens, so it was probably like 30,000 bloods around. And I was like, oh shit. This is the first time I was in seeing all these bloods. I was like, yo, really got bloods in New York. This shit real. And they was all with Fox. You know what I'm saying? And Smack actually even left a camera lens, somewhere. And I said, yo, Rec, I think that's Smack lens. And we grabbed the lens and drove all the way back to the video set where he was at and gave him his lens. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. He left it somewhere.
Do you think the actual battle rappers are appreciative of Smack?
Nah.
I know you follow battle rap, maybe not as much as you once did because you feel it got kind of corny or whatever, but
I was interviewing battle rappers before. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take because I know Smack sometimes he be like, yo, man, get that nigga $300 for a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like Smack, I think they just got to find a working relationship that's decent and fair to everybody. I think there's a lot of misinformation. I think people probably believe Smack makes an X amount of dollars off of YouTube, which might not be necessarily true. It's a lot of people pocket watching. It's a lot of people not knowing the business and other people's business. There's a lot of speculation. Right. So when this battle rapper say, yo, I got $40,000 for this battle. Of course somebody else gonna say, shit, if you gave him it's just like if somebody say, yo, he got a podcast deal and they gave him $2 million. I'm looking like, shit, I wanted I want $4 million. And then it boils down to, well, you don't deserve $4 million. And it's like, yo, how I don't deserve it? And if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't even be podcasting. So it becomes a battle of that. So now it's the disrespect. Now the person who I'm talking about feels disrespected. So it became a mess. So it's just too much pocket watching. I think Murder Mook put his price out there where he was getting.
That changed everything.
That changed everything. That changed everything. Asking for an enormous amount of money, which I understand, I get, and he probably deserves it. But then again, like I said, everybody's going to feel like they deserve it. Now we putting on who deserves what, and then that undermines shit. Then you got people that want to boycott. You got people who you don't see as much. And then the money in battle rap is not really there like people think. You know what I'm saying? You got to have venue. So if you have a venue that holds 2,000 people, you got to charge almost everybody $100 to make what? How much are you going to make off of 2,000 people? Yeah, and it's $100.
Well, they doing pay-per-views now, so I guess the pay-per-view money is helping out.
And dudes is bootlegging the pay-per-view.
That's a fact. Dudes are bootlegging. That's a fact.
So it's people love the culture. And what I don't like about the fans, the patrons, and they want everything for free. I could put up an interview on YouTube and have 3 ads on it, and motherfuckers will say, yeah, you got too much ads on this video. How are you complaining about free content? It didn't cost you nothing.
Free content, you'll get a complaint about.
It's free.
Right.
How am I supposed to eat if I don't put ads on?
Right.
Know what they say? Go get a job then. Ain't that some shit? My
it's
job is
crazy.
to provide content.
Right.
So what I say is, if you donate, I'll take all the ads off. Pay for it. I'll take all the ads off.
Right. Just compensate me.
Yeah, just because I still got to get paid for my work.
Facts.
But, we in a day and time again. Instead of people celebrating and showing people love, the first thing they say is, fuck that nigga.
Right.
And it's like, why? I don't know. Just fuck him. I ain't knowing that nigga dick. You know what I'm saying? So either you dick riding or you hating. There is no middle ground with people. And I think that that's corny. I'm not a dick rider. I just like showing love.
Now your fallout with Lux, how did that happen? I didn't really understand how the Lux thing happened.
I did a few interviews with people that was anti-Lux.
Okay.
And it looked like I chose sides and I didn't. And I saw Lux one day and I ain't like his energy. So I spoke about it to him there at the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I spoke about it after on Queen's Flip Show, Flip the Script podcast.
Shout out to Flip.
Yeah. And then since then, I spoke to Lux and we got a little better understanding of, pardon me, I'm eating broccoli. I'm trying to be on my healthy shit.
That's all good.
Me and Lux spoke and we was able to really come to an agreement. And I was kind of wrong for saying shit, calling him a sucker and all that shit.
Okay.
I was wrong for that and I apologize to him publicly and privately. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Well, it's good y'all was able to mend that.
I was wrong because we did have a rapport, but one thing about me, I don't like to be treated a certain way because I treat the janitor with the same respect as I treat the CEO. Because the janitor might be a CEO one day and the CEO might be a janitor. That's just how life is. So
that's true.
I was wrong talking about somebody who I considered a friend without talking to him. I should have reached out to him and told him about himself before I told the world. So I was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? I still think he did some. I still think he did some sucker shit. I'm not saying that he didn't do nothing wrong. It's just how I conveyed the message to the world. I probably could have did that better as somebody who was his friend.
Right.
Now go ahead.
What was the meat of the issue with the Combat Jack situation?
I felt like I did a lot for them early on. Mm-hmm. He asked me to help promote some things, and I did.
Yeah.
And when it was to be reciprocated, he ignored it.
So you showed love, and he didn't show the love back.
Hell no. Even when somebody on his platform was talking bad about it. I was trying to reach out to him and say, I don't know what this is all about. Me and you got a good relationship. Mm-hmm. Yo, let's fix it. Let's come to the table. Let's see what this is all about.
This is at the time when Taxstone got upset with you over it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, what's good? I didn't even know what it was about.
Right.
Honestly. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what it was about. All I know is that people hit me up saying somebody's talking about you. And I'm like, me. And then when they say some shit that's so preposterous about me, I'm like, huh? Where, how, why? Like, what is this about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Since after that, me and him spoke on the phone and, I never, we had a conversation that's really none of nobody's business. Mm-hmm. He got me to understand what he thought was something that I had something to do with, which since then he realized I didn't have nothing to do with it. So then he went and apologized. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I was mad at Combat Jack because I felt like he sat back and just watched shit almost spiral out of control. Because shit gonna spiral out of control when you say certain things about certain people in a certain manner.
Especially with the two individuals that was involved.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna go left. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't even want no problems. I just wanted clarity. Because one thing about me, man, when I'm wrong, I say that shit publicly. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love because, I'm human. We make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not above being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But in that situation, I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. So I wanted, yo, what the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's what I
Right.
wanted from the situation. Like, yo, what you talking about? And I couldn't get that. And I expected it to come from Jack. And one of the main things, I'm going to put that out there, Combat Jack went at Rosenberg. He dissed the shit out of Rosenberg. And he asked us to promote the footage on Forbes. And we did.
So it
now,
automatically made it so y'all could never work with Rosenberg.
never work with Rosenberg, ever. So him doing the podcast thing, which I think Juan Epstein's was like one of the first podcasts in hip hop. Mm-hmm. We dead on any of that. He never got me because we team Combat Jack.
Right.
So now when you got the loudspeaker network and I'm saying, yo, I want to do my podcast and you ignore me. Not that you said, yo, I don't want to do no business or, not right now or whatever. You just ignore that shit. You leave my shit on red and that's it. Yeah. Then I hit them up about another situation where they put a flag on my channel for some footage they gave me.
They flagged your channel for footage that they provided you?
They flagged my channel for footage that they gave me. Yes.
Wow.
So I hit him like, yo, he got this flag. And then he hit me. Was like, yo, hit up such and such. Then he hit me one day. Was like, yo, did the situation get resolved? I said, yes. And I said, by the way, I still want to do business with you on a podcast level. He ignored that again.
Wow.
So with me, honestly, I tell this to anybody out there in the world, just tell me no.
Yeah.
I can handle a no. I can't handle being ignored because I'm not a woman. And, men treat women crazy sometimes and we ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat me like no bro because when people hit me up, I respond to everybody. It's just the proper thing to do. Unless it's something super negative, I ignore it because I already know where I'm going to go with it. And I know when people trying to use my name for clout, I ignore certain things. But anytime people hit me up, yo, could I interview you? Could you come on my platform? Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This helps me. And if it's going to help you, cool. You know what I'm saying? If we could help one another, why not?
Why not? Now, I want to ask you, do you think platforms like Everyday Struggle, Joe Budden Podcast, or Desus and Mero, you think they've impacted the culture?
I think Joe Budden impacted the culture. And I want to give him props because he was one of the first people to really take live streaming big. He used to sit on Ustream playing spades and have thousands of people watching.
Facts.
He kind of started the reality TV wave with him and Tahiri on Joe Budden TV on YouTube. It was called, the YouTube channel was GOEAH21 or something. Like, I didn't never know how to pronounce that shit. So yeah, him and Tahiri. It was when he first showed Tahiri ass. I was like, oh shit, damn, Shorty got a bubble. I was tuned in ever since then. when he got swung on the Raekwon event, he was on his live stream holding his eye. You know what I'm saying?
With some ice over his eye.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he definitely was on the whole live stream wave, reality TV type wave first. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit with that. But I think he impacted the culture. And I think, he's one of the ones that I don't mind. Desus and Mero, I never really watched them too much because I think they came on cable. And I don't watch TV. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But from some of the shows that I did see, it was I like the look of it. I really, really like the look and I like the way they carry themselves. So they definitely was good. Everyday Struggle, I do not watch at all. I don't watch Everyday Struggle. I watched it a little bit when Joe Budden was on there. I watched it a little bit when Star was on there. And then when Star left and Joe Budden left, I just refused to watch it ever again.
I'm the same way. I don't watch. Once Joe left and then I watched a few with Star, but once Star left too, I was cool. I was good.
What happened with Star was the energy Star brought on that first show. I was like, this is so needed right now.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like they told him to pull back, chill out. You're going too hard on academics. They coddle academics, put a pacifier in academics' mouth and rock them. You know what I'm saying? And rub some lavender baby lotion on them and put them to sleep. And you know what I'm saying? And then they told Star to pull back. And I was like, nah, this shit is compromised. Because I call people compromised. I could tell when they get compromised. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, all right, this shit is compromised. Now, this ain't that raw, uncut shit. And then now I don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? The last episode I think I watched was Soldier Boy episode because Soldier Boy is just hot. You know what I'm saying? He was just hot for. That's all I watch, but I don't watch it every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't academics. I don't want people to get it confused. I got a lot of respect for academics because I see how he built his platform. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? How he built his platform can be suspect in people's eyes because he used a lot of negativity to build it. Mm-hmm. But he ain't doing nothing that TMZ didn't do. He not doing nothing that these other platforms didn't do to build their shit. So I can't be mad at him per se and single him out. And then, when you got somebody who you perceive to be real, like myself, and some people perceive me to be real, if y'all gonna push somebody who not real before y'all push the real, y'all get what y'all deserve. So I ain't mad at him. Yeah, I ain't mad at him for winning.
So you feel like he gets too much heat?
Nah, I mean, kitchen is gonna get hot. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about beef, death, destruction, and the war in Chirac and savages and all, man, that shit is real, man. Like, listen, it's certain things that these media outlets get to cover that I will never cover or talk about because I'm in the street still. Mm-hmm. Like, I get held to a different standard. That's where the tax don't issue came in at. I get held to a different standard personally. Like, you a street nigga, you Doggie Diamonds, you can't be doing and saying certain shit. Which is messed up though. Because I should be able to report and speak on everything, but it's certain code and ethics that I'm supposed to stand by based off of my reputation and who I am. You know what I'm saying? So a dude that's looked at as a sucker or not a street guy can talk about any and everything and nobody really cares. Everybody like, well, he's a sucker, so that's what it is. But at the same time, he looked like he's culturally important. Mm-hmm. So now he gets rewarded. Now he gets these deals. Now he gets the situation. And people look at you like, well, you're not culturally important because you're not getting 5 million views of video. Yeah, but I can't talk about 6ix9ine case or 6ix9ine, criminal shit because niggas will look at me like, yo, why you dry snitching or why you snitching? Even though it might be public record, I still can't talk about it. I still can't, like to this day. That's why, if you noticed, when all that so-called shit was going on with Casanova and 6ix9ine, I never talked about that. I never reported that. Never spoke on it one time. Because, first of all, it was Brooklyn on Brooklyn, so I really didn't like it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And second of all, I be knowing the parties involved. So I was like, yo, nah, you know what I'm saying? I can't even cover that shit. I can't. Yeah, so, it's a lot of things, and I'm not able to cover that other people are able to cover. And that's why you got all these new YouTubers. Just, that's all they talk about is street shit, false reporting, and putting out information that is helping police solve cases. And one thing
these dudes doing all the work for the police on the internet.
They doing all the work for the police, and a lot of it is misinformation. It's a lot of fingers being pointed at individuals that don't have nothing to do with cases, and they doing it for views. And you know what? It is what it is. That's, if people gonna click on it, who am I to say don't do it? I don't do it. I don't respect it. But people are clicking it. You know what I'm saying? People are clicking it. And one thing I'm not going to be is no crybaby about what people choose to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When people want a real in-depth interview where I'm talking one-on-one to the artist, you know where to go for that. If you want certain things, if you want to know the latest street gossip and who shot who and all that shit, go over there for that. That's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's never gonna be my thing because one thing I never wanted no FBI. I never wanted no police questioning me. I never wanted them coming to take my computer. I never wanted them taking my tapes. I never wanted them taking my disc or anything like that. I never wanted any of that. So I stayed away from all of that shit. It's times where artists might have said something on my camera and I was like, nah, we ain't using that. You know what I'm saying? Because you just said the most incriminating shit ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get jammed up in that. You know what I'm saying? So even when people say stuff, I'll be like, yo, that's a closed case, right? Yeah, that was okay, cool. Because anything pending, nah, we ain't doing that.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah, I mean that's very respectable. You know what I'm saying? That's respectable. What did you think about the Africa Bambaataa situation? Does it seem like people are guilty until proven innocent?
I mean, you know what? That could be the case, but it's an analogy that was used before. You can say somebody's a murderer or a kidnapper, And it's all accusations until bodies start washing up on the shore. And then it's like, well, you said he was a kidnapper and a murderer. Now look, there's a body there. Who killed him? And they said said it was you. So your actions always sometimes show your guilt. What we did was we had a press conference saying, listen, you're about to get crucified in media. You're about to get crucified in the court of public opinion. Mm-hmm. Come to black media, because this is how I got involved. Because it's hip hop. Africa Bambaataa is looked at as one of the founders of hip hop, right? So if they come attack hip hop, I get stabbed by default because I represent hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So now they're going to ask me all the time about him. So I'm like, I can't defend somebody if I never spoke to them. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know if the accusations are true or not, because I don't want it to be a blow to hip hop. And this is a blow that we done heard about violence in hip hop. We done heard about people, being ripped off as far as their publishing and different things, but we never heard about no pedophilia. Right. And that don't have nothing to do with hip hop, but they're going to blame it. Yeah, I didn't want it to be a blow for hip hop. So I was like, yo, we need to do a press conference. We need to do a press conference and have him come to us and give us what's going on. So when they ask me what's going on with him, I know how to answer, and I know what's false. I know what's real. And when he didn't come to us, and he went to white media that he always taught was the enemy and all that stuff, I said, nah, something is wrong. Mm-hmm. Something is wrong. And then it was just too much facts, too many things coming out. And he just never spoke to us. He never spoke to his peers, his brothers, his family. But the victims was coming, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And some of the shit I was hearing, and people who didn't know each other had, corroborating stories, that didn't even know each other, that didn't even hear each other's story. It was just too much things that was similar. So I was like, nah, he did that shit. You know what I'm saying? I believe he did it. You know what I'm saying? I believe that he did it.
Wow. Do you think that mainstream America shows enough respect to hip hop culture?
In the sense of monetizing, yeah, they do. They show it because they know they can make money off. I mean, hip hop is in everything. Hip hop is going to be in a Burger King commercial. Hip hop is going to be in, any and everything, because they know that's, hip hop is youth driven, and how the youth are the biggest consumers, youth and women. You know what I mean? So of course they show respect to monetize it, but as far as the culture, the people, the movement, the founders, no, they don't show any respect, because when you really think about it, and this is going to sound crazy to some people, but it's the truth, and I'm Doggie Diamonds with no filter, this is real. When you have somebody that's 55 years old, that never been in the hood one day in their life, mm-hmm. They're a Caucasian man of, whatever nationality, but needless to say, they're Caucasian, they grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth, or they might not even grew up in this country. And they're telling you, somebody who's from the hood, somebody who's been in the hood, how to talk to your people that you know and been around, something is wrong. I can't come off the street and tell you how to talk in corporate America. I don't know the language. I don't know the lingo. And this is where hip hop has become. It's been corporate ran, corporate sponsored, and it's been compromised because it's all about money now. And I get it. Everybody needs money. We all need money. Money capitalist. We live in a capitalist society. I get it. But when the money starts to supersede the integrity, the talent, the skill, and the output, something is wrong. Right. And I feel that way about podcasts, and I feel that way about interviews. I feel that way about everything. I see people who start YouTube channels, and when their YouTube channel don't pop or get demonetized, they quit.
Yeah, they just give it up.
Because it was all about the money. They never loved the game. I said I was doing this for years before I even made $1 because I just loved it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is just, regardless of what you do, that's why I tell everybody, try to monetize your content, because corporate America is going to find a way to make $1 off you. So say YouTube demonetizes your channel, right? Mm-hmm. They still run ads. Yeah. You just not getting none of the money.
Facts.
So you still putting content out there. So what you do, you create a Patreon. You create different things.
We have a Patreon over here, man. Everybody subscribe to that Black Compass Patreon.
That's what I'm saying. You'll put up a Patreon. Say it again.
Black Compass Media. We have a Patreon. We got limited content over there. The content we put in Patreon does not go on YouTube.
Got you. Yeah. So now you do a Patreon, and you say people, yo, subscribe for $1 a month, $1.99, 100 pennies, 20 nickels, 10 dimes, 4 quarters. That's all I want from you for a month. You know what they'll say? Fuck you, get a job. But they'll fuck off all types of money, come on your comments, leave the most reckless, vile comments, but don't help you do anything to better your content, better or help the production, but they got the most to say. You want $1. I had people who gave me $1 on Patreon. You know that's $12 in a year? $12, right. Not $12 a month.
In a year.
It's in a year span, 12 months, $12, $1 a month. If you give me $2, that's $24 in a 2-year span. If you give me whether $1 in 2 years is $24, $1 in 3 years, you gave me $36 of me giving you 12 years of fire content. I ain't worth $1?
Right.
And it's people who gave me $1 who took their dollar back, who deleted their dollar. I always thought, damn, my Patreon to be at least, I should be making thousands a month. I don't even make $100 in my Patreon. And I put the Patreon out there. I put my donate links out there. I put everything out there. Nobody donates really to me like that. I have a few Patreons. Shout out to everybody who's on my Patreon, but I don't even make $100 on my Patreon.
Wow. Unreal.
You know what I'm saying? Me. Unreal. You know what I'm saying? I don't even make and whatever. But I don't complain about it. I keep it moving. So when I start doing certain things, and certain things is on my channel, I don't want nobody talking about, oh, this is beneath you. You should be doing. Listen. If you're not helping me pay the bills, and this is one of my sayings, if you ain't feeding me, don't tell me how to eat.
Right.
If you ain't providing the food, don't tell me what food to eat. Because this has became a monetized. It became a business thing. You know what I'm saying? And I keep my integrity, and I do all that. But sometimes you got to shake shit up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to shake shit up. Sometimes you got to be like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean going too far and doing some of the things that I said I would never do, but just other things. Like I put an interview up of a guy talking about Jay Electronica's foundation. Mm-hmm. They like, yo, this is beneath you. What are you putting this up for? I'm like, shut up.
Right.
Shut up. It's one interview out of... I might have did like 8,000 interviews, man. This is a fact. Mm-hmm. Since I started. So out of one interview, is Johnny Come Lately's telling me that, yo, why you doing this? This is beneath your brand. I can't believe you did this. I'm so mad at you. I'm unsubscribing. You know what? You ain't got to worry about unsubscribing right now because I'm going to block you. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need no fair weather supporters. I need people who going to support me when I'm up, when I'm down. Because it is what it is. And that's what real, true blue supporters are. If a person make a bad album, you don't say, yo, I hate them forever. Like, yo, nah, that shit wasn't dope. You got to go back to the lab. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the next album.
Right.
Nowadays, content come out so frequent and so much that you don't have time to digest. That's why I don't put out content every day. I want to have quality. I could go live every day. But I don't, because I got things to do, and I'm not going to just keep feeding you oodles and noodles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep feeding you oodles and noodles. I have Tyler Quali interviews. I have Lord Jamar interviews. I have Proswell interviews. That is not time yet. It's not time. You know what I'm saying? I got an Ali Vega.
I really enjoyed your PD Crack interview that you did on your podcast, man. I love that interview. I learned so much about PD through that, man. I'm a big PD fan.
But this is what I'm saying. That's all I want to give people is understand and then just love and just look like we just having a good time, man. We did that in the projects, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, like we did that in the projects. He hit me up, yo, I'm in town, yo, come by this crib I'm at, pull out microphones and pull out the camera and let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's on my bucket list, man. I gotta get an interview with PD Crack, man. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, we could arrange that. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? We could arrange that.
Now I want you to talk about your podcast network, Digital Soapbox Network.
Yes, Digital Soapbox Network. Shout out to my partner, Big Steel. Big Steel hit me up one day. He said, "Yo, man, I want to start a podcast network. I want you a part of it." I was like, "Okay." He said, "Yo, how come Loudspeaker and other these podcast people never holler at you?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Yo, man, that's crazy." He said, "How they not gonna holler at you? Like,
Right.
I would love to. I can't wait to have you on my team." And then he was like, "Yo, you know what? I can't have you on my network, man. We got to be partners. Like, I can't put you under me." Even though I was willing to go under him. You know what I'm saying? Shit, let's work.
Right.
That's how I am. Like, if I got to be a soldier in somebody else's army,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be that. You know what I'm saying? Old generals started out as just a regular soldier, and then you earn your stripes. Like, I don't ever want people to think that I won't go under somebody, but the army has to be big. You're not going to be, no weak ass army and want me to be a soldier and you a weak general. You know what I'm saying? If you could show me that you're a good general, I'll go in your army. But me and him became partners and we started putting together and we was just like, yo, we was looking for podcasts and a lot of people reached out. So we did a lot of research. He did a lot of research and we picked some shows, which unfortunately we're gonna have to let some shows go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the NBA draft and get new shows and different things. And yeah, we signed a bunch of shows to the network. We got to deal with Audio Boom. Put the shows on there, got distribution to all the platforms for a lot of shows. And then we got some big shows that I can't announce yet. He been leaking them a little bit. So if you follow Digital Soapbox Network on Instagram, you'll see it. I don't want to say it because I tell him all the time, still, until it's 100%, I don't want to talk about it. But still is a little different. He like, yo, nah, it's 100. Trust me, I got the pictures. He be having a lot of paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I just sign off on some things, but he be having the preliminary paperwork for stuff, so he know what's going on. And then once I put my name on it, then I know it's official. But until I put my name on it, I'm like, yo, still, it ain't happening. But yeah, we got to deal with CBS also. So that's coming soon. Radio.com.
Man. That's love.
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, and I reached out to all these guys, all these dudes I interviewed with podcasts. Mm-hmm. Yo, none of them wanted to help.
Wow.
Yeah, none of them wanted to help, or the help that they was given was so backsided or so. It wasn't, I don't know. I think people be looking at me as competition, but I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with myself.
Right. That's what I'm saying? Because you're secure with who you are and what you do.
Yo, I know I'm good. I know I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to feel like I have to compete with nobody. I know I'm good. And anybody, listen, I'm telling you, anybody who hits me up and I don't want to do it, I say no. Or if it's a fee, I give you the fee. Or if it's something I want to do, I do. That's it. I don't never string people along. That's just not what I'm about. I tell the dude, you're not.
And that's a fact. I reached out to Doggie on Twitter, through the Black Compass Twitter. He hit right back. And we're doing this interview within 24 hours. This is a humble guy. He a legend, but he's a humble guy. You know what I mean? You didn't have to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but I had to do it though. Because 6 months from now, 2 months from now, 2 weeks, you might have the biggest show, and hopefully you remember that I showed love. That's what this is all about. Like, why do we have to be in competition? Who said that we had to hate each other?
Right.
Who taught us that? Who taught us that, yo, don't fuck with Black Compass? You know what I'm saying? Who said that? I don't subscribe to none of that. So I believe in just being the change that I want to see.
Right.
That's that.
Well, man, everybody out there listening, man, make sure y'all go subscribe to the YouTube Doggie Diamonds TV. Go follow Instagram, Digital Soapbox. Get in tune with everything they doing and everything they putting out there for us. It's supreme content, man. It's great content. You can't miss out on it. You know what I'm saying?
And I got something. Yeah, and I got some stuff coming. Like, it's definitely going to be cultural shocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always working. When I get quiet, that's when everybody should be afraid, because I'm always got something up my sleeve and I'm always trying to shift things. I'm an innovator, not an imitator. You know what I'm saying? And I realize when Jay-Z drops a new album or a new style, people tend to change, not about how he's rapping, but what he's rapping about and how he's carrying himself. Everybody want to be grown. When he said, I don't do jerseys, everybody took the jerseys off and put on button ups. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I try to be. I try to be an innovator, because most of these dudes, and I'm gonna keep it all the way real, most of these dudes who's doing interviews are copying me. People hit me every day like, yo, these niggas just bit your whole swag. Yo, they just bit. I was like, yo, I see it, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I want to say is that I'm happy that there is a culture that's moving forward. You know, whether I'm in the forefront or not, it's moving. Right. But I'm always going to have my place. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to make sure I got my place till I decide I want to walk away. But 2019, I'm a gamer. I'm a big gamer. I just wasn't publicly a gamer. I have all the games. I have everything, but I'm going to make that a little bit more public. Okay. My gaming channel is called Video Gamer Thumb. It's brand new, Video Gamer Thumb. That's actually a condition with your hand if you play games too much. So okay. That's the name of it, Video Gamer Thumb. Of course, I'm Doggie Diamonds on everything. You have to spell the name right. DOGGIE DIAMONDS, plural. Anybody named Doggie Diamond with no S or Z, they are frauds. I am the originator. And YouTube is Doggie Diamonds TV. The podcast is Doggie Diamonds No Filter. It's on iTunes, Castbox, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, iHeart, Audio Boom. It's everything, soon to be on radio.com. And that's really it, man. And just shout out to you for reaching out to me and wanting to even interview me. I'm happy and humble that, I'm always happy when somebody want to interview me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always happy.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for all your contributions to the culture, man. We're big fans of your work and your whole movement, man. We definitely gonna be in touch.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you need a part 2, don't be afraid to hit me up. Don't let this be the last one, man. Let's do some more stuff.
Definitely. This Doggie Diamonds, y'all. Appreciate your time, King.
Yep, and I want to say one more time for the people who didn't hear me, y'all. What's up? This is Doggie Diamonds, and right now you see that? It's so crazy. I'm gonna say it one more time. What's up? This is Doggie Diamonds, and right now you rocking with Black Compass Media, Black Compass. Make sure you rock with them. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Anything that you see Black Compass on, make sure you subscribe to that. Whether it's the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, like, subscribe, donate $1 to. This is independent media. Every dollar count.
Thank you.
I'm out of here.
Thanks,
Peace.
King. Peace.